Hot traders, what's happening? I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope all you fathers had an even better weekend. I know I had a great weekend hanging out with my family. Always a good Father's Day weekend when I'm able to hang out with my whole family. So, just a great time. Now, this week we started out a little slow. We expected it. We talked about it every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. We have a market analysis session. Plus, we look at some swing trade possibilities. But every member has access to it. And then really all you have to do is log in the chat like you do every day. And we're right there. So there's no special place you have to go. So if you have, and then it's a place where you could come and ask questions as well. Once we're done, I'm there. Ask all the questions you want. If you're having trouble, that's what I'm there for. So, we talked about this, and we looked at the market, and I'll show you, kind of recap what we talked about. I'll show you what we talked about here in a minute. But, I want to tell you this. There's no shortcut, no back door, and no fast pass on the road to success. You will have to pass through Hard Work Boulevard, Hard Knock Street. There's some others that you're going to have to pass through. You're going to have to go through some inner cities. You're going to have to fight your way through. There's no way around that. All that does is help define your character. But the only way you're going to get through this is being patient, developing discipline, the persistence, and hard work. Good old-fashioned hard work. We talked about not cheating the grind. You can't pay somebody all this money, sit back and expect them to pour stuff into your head. Now, if you don't want to do this, if you want other people to pick your trades for you, just put your money in somebody's mutual fund and go on about your business. Now, if you're looking for an alert service, you're looking for somebody to tell you, trade this, get in here, get out, it just doesn't work. So find somebody's mutual fund to dump your money in, and you'll be a lot happier. But I want you guys to know there's no shortcut. I know we said it. I know I say it. I know a lot of people say it. It sounds like a broken record, but it seems like from day to day, sometimes you forget, and you have to be reminded. All right, so what we were looking at this weekend, and you can't really see this. I need to change this color to white, because there's a candle right here, but it's dark blue. And that was Friday. It was just flat. The market opened the same way it closed. And last week, we basically were flat. Okay, we gained like 0.5% in the S&P, and that's it. And you can see after some pretty decent candles, some pretty volatile candles here, the last 3-4 days of the market, we're pretty much flat. We practically closed right on top of where we opened, or right up under the bottom of it. And the market just kind of chopped around in a range all day and stayed there. And I don't expect it to change for the next couple of days. I think everybody's waiting for the Fed decision to see if they're going to raise rates or not. Some people are speculating, but we just have to wait. Unless it gets leaked out, and you'll know that because you'll see the market spiking. So we may wake up tomorrow to it, it being leaked out, or Wednesday. It could cause some tradable activity in the market. But I know we talk about the summertime being slow, and obviously it is. For a lot of the stocks that we look at, they don't move as volatile as they did early in the year. It's noticeably the volume in the market goes away. There's no denying that. And it is a little bit more difficult to make money during the summer. But it's possible. There are different strategies you can employ. You have to be ready to adapt to the market conditions. That's what a day trader does. We adapt to the market conditions. Now, we don't go chasing the market, and we're not trying to impose our will on the market. And we're taking our time, and we are sitting back waiting for the market to give us an opportunity, show us an opportunity. Remember, I talked about last week mindful patience, and just being patient but being alert and there when that opportunity presents itself. That's how we're going to make it through the summer. Now, there are going to be days like today where in our micro account, there were no trades for us. Nothing really set up. We didn't have anything moving on any type of volatility. There was a stock that kind of showed some volatility, but it wasn't on our watch list. I think it was on our watch list on Friday. But ARQL, that was one that it put in a decent move today, but it wasn't on our watch list. It didn't gap, didn't have a volume pre-market, but it just took off. And unless you still had that chart on your platform, you really didn't see it. So you kind of had to be in the right place at the right time, and that was more of luck. So you're always going to see a couple of stocks moving, but you have to be in the right place at the right time, sometimes to see that. So we're not going to beat the summer up and say that it's bad, because I feel it's the best time for new traders to learn. It's the toughest time to trade because of how choppy the market is, and the stocks that we typically look at, the volume just isn't there like it normally is. So it's going to force us to learn how to read price action and just not rely on the technicals. So I really feel the summertime is the best time for us to learn. So you see, I think we're probably going to be sideways for the next couple of days until we see the Fed, or if the news gets leaked, then we're going to have some play time. All right, so I'm going to start with the best trade of the day. We'll do the bad one. Well, it's not really bad. It was just tough. Just tough trades. Facebook, I woke up this morning. I saw this gapping up. This was on the early scans. Like when I cut on my Thinkorswim early before I hit the gym. Facebook had some volume. It was moving. While I was at the gym, I was watching Chris Hughes, one of the co-founders of Facebook. He was talking and saying some interesting things. So I was thinking, Facebook may be a good all-day hold. Now, all-day holds work great in the summertime because a lot of times these stocks don't have really volatile up and down moves, but nice big trend moves. Like we look at Facebook here, it opened around 184.50ish, somewhere in there, and it made it all the way up to almost 189.50, I think around 189.45. And aftermarket, it made it to 190, which was my final target for the day. But it made it aftermarket. This strategy requires me to take it off right before the close. Now, we do see a lot of times on these stocks that at the close, it goes up and it makes a big move and looks pretty good. But that's not what we're looking. That's not the strategy. It's done so that we're only trading it during the open. It's not a swing trade, but it's a longer term, day trade. We're looking for stocks that are trending and have the ability to make a pretty good move. Now, if you're in the community and you haven't watched the class on this, you're gonna be lost but you can't get mad because you don't know. It's your responsibility to go through and watch the class, because in order for you to understand what's happening, you got to understand the context of the trade. What constitutes this strategy. And that's where the fundamentals come in, the foundation. You're learning the context of the trade. And then when you see it in action, and when you start to put it in action, that's when the real learning takes place in terms of understanding the strategy. But if you don't understand the context of the trade and you haven't done that, your work ahead of time, it's, you're going to get mad, you're going to get frustrated. But it's nobody's fault but your own. You got to check it out. I spent some time putting all of that together and going through it step by step. And we will talk about the strategy, what we're looking for. And like today, excuse me, I said we're looking for it to break back over the pre-market high. Now, yeah, I could have gotten in here. I could have gotten in at 7:30, could have gotten in at 8 o'clock. I was waiting for it to break the high, the previous high, where it gapped up at 6 o'clock. Once it breaks that, I'm a player. Okay, so it didn't break it until right before the open. This is the candle kind of right before the open. That's when it broke it up here. So I waited to see, are we going to get a pullback? We did, but then, this candle sold off a little bit. This daily pivot here, this 184.57, it kind of held and it ran up. And so as we were coming up, I was like, I'm ready to catch it on the break. I got it just a tick early, but I got it as it was breaking. This candle opened down here and started to sell off a little bit, but we never lost the technicals. Never lost the technicals, and we let it run. Here was the first level here, but this was too close. I was not going to take profit here. Honestly, I wanted to take it here at 188.50, but it had so much trouble here during lunch. I changed my profit target to 188, and it actually did make it up to 188.50. So what I did was I just waited until we got to 189 and took some more off up here to kind of make it to where I got the profit that I would have gotten if I got it here. And then the next piece I was waiting to 189. Like I said, didn't get it until after market close, but I had to take this off going into the close. And you see, 4 seconds. Just waited until the last minute to take it off. And that's what you got to do. Got to give it time. I've taken this off at 3:45 because it looks like it was pulling back. I've taken it off here before. And then it turns around and rips in the last 30 minutes and makes my target. And that's kind of what this did. So I'm looking for these every day. And some days my schedule is not right. I may get up late and get to the gym late or whatever, and my morning preparation is off. Then if that's off, I can't trade any pre-market. I can't look at any pre-market trades. I just have to wait and run my day as usual, just like it would be during the school year. So today was a really good day. I was able to identify this early. I was able to talk to you about it in the community, let you know what we needed to see happen, and the trade worked out really well. So I can get 1 or 2 of these a week. These will really be awesome. Now, I'm not trading these in the small account. I could have traded this in my 5K account, but I wanted to day trade. I'm like, maybe I've got this sickness that I just like day trading. I've got to take some multiple trades during the day. And had we had a watch list for the micro account, I probably would have done this in the small account, in the 5K account. I probably would have, but it's a game time decision, as to what I do. All right, so, and this is the 60-minute. And if you go through the class, you'll know that once you get in, we're getting in on the 5-minute chart. But as soon as I enter, I'm going to flip to the 60-minute chart. I already know what my stop is based on the 5-minute chart. I already know what my profit targets are, where they are. So the last thing you want to do is watch the intraday volatility on a stock that you want to hold all day. Because what it will do is it will cause you to stop out. So if you go back and look at this and how this went up and then it started to pull back, this could have spooked you out. Or you go up here and it starts to look like, it's not doing anything. This could have spooked you out. Because we were having trouble getting close to 188, I made the decision based on the price action and how this stuff was looking to reduce my profit target. But I was not going to take that trade off, because once you have a trade plan, and this did not give me any indication that I needed to sell it. Now, had we lost VWAP in the 50, that would have been a deal breaker. But it didn't. We didn't see the pullback. And when I watched this at lunch, and I only look at this once I get in, I'll look at it at lunch and set it up for the rest of the day. And then I won't really go back to it until the end of the day. You don't want to watch this just like you don't want to watch your P&L. Watching the intraday volatility can cause you to take it off before your time. And this is a different strategy. This is an all-day hold. You want to hold it all day. So if you're not disciplined enough to do that, and if you're watching it tick for tick, then you won't be able to maximize the efficiency of the trade. It's just that simple. And last year, if you were in the room last year, I went crazy with people giving blow by blow, tick by tick, a set analysis of a stock we were looking at trading, or we were trading for an all-day hold. It's like, I don't want to hear it. That's not important. It's irrelevant. But that's part of the discipline that you're going to have to develop if you're going to trade this strategy. All right, so that was Facebook and all-day hold. And now ROKU, this one is always a tough trader because of the way ROKU trades. Sometimes it's really trending and it comes up with these strong trends. And then other times they trade like today. And basically it traded like the market. It didn't mirror the market, but it traded choppy and just kind of a frustrating trading. And you see, I couldn't get in here. If I was going to trade the 5-minute opening range, I would have traded off of the body here, because the wick was so long. But the 100 period was so close, I just waited and used the true 5-minute opening range. Got in it, and we got a big pullback, but it held. It pretty much held. We closed below the 5-minute opening range right here, but this candle never did confirm anything. It turned around and ripped back up, and it just chopped its way up. And finally, it just went up to just over the 200, which is where I had my target. Back here was pretty much the same, but the 200 was coming in. But got the profit here, It tried to push up. I was going to lighten up again here through 104, but it started to sell back off. We ended up stopping out break even. And this thing kind of messed around again. And here, we went in, put in a lower high, and we made a lower low. So I took it short. Why not? It set up. And so it started to move pretty good, and then it got bought right back up. Now, yeah, this was probably a sign to sell it once we made a higher low, but I waited, and I really think I probably made the wrong decision here. I should have taken it off once this confirmed to break a trend, but I left it on because I had, my max loss in. I left it on and waited until it claimed the 200 here, and then I stopped out. So here, it looks like we're going to hold the 200, so I buy it. I'm like, I guess this is going to continue. We're going to take out 104, and so I buy it and have to hold it through this big pullback before we made this big run. Now, this was well within my my max loss stop, well within the range. Now, my stop on this was going to be a loss of all of this support. It still had these two to go through, and I still would have been well within my max loss range. But it held and pushed up, made it to 104, first target. Did not get through 104.50 to lighten up some more, and ended up having to take it off. It was a profit stop, but it was starting to pull back, and I didn't think we were going to make it back up, which we didn't. So it turned out to be a real good stop. But it was just, dealing with this stock that was jumping around, bouncing around, really frustrating a little bit. So, it is what it is. You play with fire, sometimes you're gonna get burnt. You mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. And I got a couple of horns in some bad places today. Didn't feel too good, but we managed to, only be red $86. Not the start to the week I want, but it's manageable. Manageable. And that Facebook trade kind of took away any bad feelings or ill feelings that I had toward anything. So going into tomorrow with a good mindset, ready to rock and roll. And I think we're going to have another slow day, but I'll think twice about messing with a stock like ROKU. I probably will just need to pass on it. So you guys have a great night, great evening, and I will catch you guys in the morning.